Hello, my name is Landon Lamie, and today we will be discussing motivating your athletes with an emphasis on self-worth. So what is self-worth? The definition of self-worth is a confidence and satisfaction in oneself. In other words, it's how we feel about ourselves and our overall sense of worth. Self-worth is influenced by both internal and external factors being genetics and external factors being environmental. Why is self-worth important? It is relevant during all stages in life. It is important for athletic performance in that positive self-worth improves athletic performance, resulting in more success, and it's important in the professional performance in that it improves overall satisfaction of one's profession. So, my research question that I'd like to present to you all is what factors contribute to an athlete's sense of self-worth? The brief overview of the answers to this question is mentality, genetics and environment, and self-confidence. The first factor that contributes to an athlete's overall sense of self-worth is mentality. Let's talk about mentality's effect on self-worth. So it's understood that a higher sense of achievement leads to a higher sense of self-worth. In today's society, we associate achievement with success. Even further, we associate success with winning and failure to losing. Athletes often associate winning and losing with self-worth. Thus, winning is equal to higher self-worth, and losing is equal to lower self-worth. There are two types of mentalities. There's the winner mentality and the loser mentality. Early successes and failures create these two types of athletes. One is motivated to achieve success, while the other is motivated to avoid failure. It's important as the coach to learn how these athletes think, as you'll want to motivate the sense of success and discourage the sense of failure. An athlete with a winner mentality is a success-oriented athlete. They see winning as a consequence of their ability and gives them confidence in their abilities to succeed. They also see losing as a lack of effort, which prevents the failure's threat on self-worth. It also motivates the athlete to work harder. These athletes credit themselves for success and accept responsibility for their failures. And this is considered a healthy attitude that coaches should foster in their athletes. The contrary to a winner's mentality is a loser's mentality. They are failure-oriented athletes, and these kind of athletes blame themselves for failure and take very little credit for success. They attribute failures to their lack of ability, and they attribute success to their luck or weak opponents. Repeated failure causes the individual to protect their dignity by avoiding situations that aren't guaranteed success. This, of course, is considered an unhealthy attitude that coaches should prevent from occurring within their athletes. Another factor that contributes to an athlete's sense of self-worth is genetics and environment. Is it genetic, environmental, or both? In this study by McGuire et al., the authors wanted to determine the effects of genetic and environmental factors on a person's sense of self-worth. They compared identical twins, fraternal twins, full siblings, half-siblings, and unrelated siblings to determine these effects. In regards to the effects of genetics on self-worth, the authors concluded there was a significant genetic effect on self-worth for children 16 years old, but not 14 years old. This means that children younger than 14 receive nearly all sense of self-worth from their environment. In regards to the effects of the environment on self-worth, the primary changes seen in the results for self-concept and self-worth were due to the environmental factors, regardless of age. So as you could guess, the answer is both. But, as the results mentioned in the last slide, environmental factors had a greater effect on the participant's self-worth. So what does this mean? This means that friends, peers, teachers, and other significant adults, such as coaches, influence the environmental factors. It is the coach's responsibility, then, to create an environment that encourages positive self-worth and encourage athletes to promote a positive self-worth within their team. Another factor that contributes to an athlete's sense of self-worth is self-confidence. So let's talk about building self-worth with self-confidence. Self-worth can be reinforced with self-confidence, which encourages the athlete to work for success, which ultimately will improve the person's sense of self-worth. Here are some tips for building self-confidence. Let go of fear, play freely, focus on self, play for yourself, play functionally, and be confident. Let go of fear. Coaches should teach athletes to not fear making mistakes. The fear of making mistakes increases the likelihood of mistakes occurring. Emphasize the importance of learning from their mistakes. Learning from their mistakes can help athletes overcome their fear, which allows the athlete to play harder and more focused on the game. Play freely. Don't hold back. Athletes should understand the importance of training and use this training to get better and master their skills. With training, the athletes will gain trust in their abilities, thus allowing their skills to happen instinctively. Focus on self. Don't make comparisons. Athletes should avoid making comparisons with other athletes. This creates a sense of intimidation, reducing their self-confidence. These types of athletes also look to others to help them feel confident. Instead, athletes should focus on their own strengths to build their self-confidence. Play for yourself, not others. Athletes often rely on social approval to boost their self-worth. This causes athletes to pursue the approval from others, which can create anxiety or fear of failure in the competition. Coaches should teach athletes to have self-respect, not other-based respect. Self-respect will lead to self-confidence, which will ultimately lead to improved self-worth. Play functionally, not for perfection. Athletes do not need to perform perfectly to perform their best. Coaches should encourage performing functionally, not perfectly. Coaches should demonstrate that they accept the athlete's mistakes, and they should be happy with a play that worked well, even if it wasn't textbook. And last but not least, be confident. Athletes need to believe in their ability to execute a task. As an athlete's competency or skill grows, confidence is strengthened as well, further stressing the importance of training to master a skill. Self-worth never changes. Coaches should teach their athletes that their worth never changes, only the situation that they're in. In the video above and in the notes, a professor uses a $20 bill to represent self-worth. What happens is the professor asks the class, would they want this $20 bill? They all say yes. He proceeds to crumple up this $20 bill and ask the students, would they like this $20 bill? As you could guess, they all say yes, they would still like this $20 bill. The professor continues to throw the $20 bill on the ground and step on it, and ask the students, would you like this $20 bill? The students, as predicted, all said yes. This emphasizes that although events may happen in a person, in summary, athletes should strive for a winner's mentality. Coaches and peers have a large contribution and impact on the athlete's sense of self-worth. Self-worth can be reinforced with self-confidence, and lastly, no matter the situation, the athletes must understand that their worth never changes. Now it's time for discussion questions. Question 1. In a situation where you recognize that an athlete has a loser's mentality, what methods in the past have you used to either reduce the effects of this mentality or, hopefully, reverse this to a winner's mentality? And for question 2, how do you teach or encourage self-worth amongst your athletes, friends, students, or family? This can be related or unrelated to sports. Thank you all for watching and listening to this presentation, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.